Are you looking for a nice city with close proximity to Frisco, Plano, and Dallas with reasonable housing prices?
That sounds great.
Well, then this video is just for you. I'm Andy.
And I'm Patrice.
And today we are right here in Little Elm, Texas. We're going to go over everything that you need to know, pros and cons of living in this great, smaller, lakeside living town right next to Frisco, Texas. And if this is your first time on our channel, we are local real estate agents that specialize in all things Dallas real estate. So make sure you hit that subscribe button, that bell, so you're alerted every time we do a video.
Yep, and don't forget to give us a call, text, or email. Whatever you gotta do to get a hold of us, just get a hold of us.
Now, let's talk about Little Elm, Texas. First of all, when we moved here 15 years ago, Little Elm, Texas was just a sleepy, undesirable area. But in the last 15 years, it has grown substantially. It has definitely put its big boy pants on,
Yes.
right? Did you know that Little Elm, Texas has the most shoreline of any city in Dallas?
Wow, I did not know that, so that's a good thing to know.
In 2000, Little Elm, Texas had a population of just over 3,500. Do you know where it is right now?
No.
56,000.
Wow.
In 20 years. Do you know where it's projected at complete build out?
No.
Right around 90,000.
Wow.
Right? So like I said, Little Elm, Texas is really coming together as a city. It's exciting to watch, but there's definitely some pros and cons no matter where you live.
That's true. That is true.
So a little bit more about, before we jump into the pros and cons, give a rough estimate, Cliff Notes version of what Little Elm, Texas is. How are the schools?
The schools are rated about 8s, so they're pretty good.
Yeah. B+ according to niche.com. Let's go over 3 key basics of Little Elm, Texas. First of all, everybody wants to know what the property tax is, and it is?
It is 2.32.
2.32, which is very reasonable out in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Now, what is the average household income?
It's about 81,000.
81,000. Okay, and then I just ran a report for the last 90 days. And to give you the average price in Little Elm, Texas, right here in spring of 2021, it is
$374.
$374.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
I know.
You can get in this area. You are a pitching wedge away from Frisco, Texas, and you can get in here on an average price of under $400,000.
Yeah.
That's unreal. So let's jump into the pros, and the first one being
location.
Little Elm is, like I said, a pitching wedge away from Frisco and that Plano border. So all of that exciting new growth that's happening with the headquarters, all these jobs that are created, you are, like I said, 10, 15 minutes away to that location and only about 40 minutes into downtown Dallas.
Yeah, I mean, they all kind of blend together, so you don't even know that you're necessarily in Little Elm from Frisco. So,
yeah, I mean, it's a great spot. Next would be
the diversity.
Did you know that Little Elm ISD is number 20 out of over 1,000 ISDs in Texas as far as diversity is concerned?
Wow, that's fantastic.
Yeah. It's just, people are often shocked at the melting pot that is this Dallas-Fort Worth area, and Little Elm is a good example of that diversity.
Yeah.
The next pro is
affordable housing.
Now we kind of already went into it. Like I mentioned earlier, I ran that report. Under 400,000, there was 252 sold in the last 90 days. Under 400,000, I'm talking single family homes. In that, you get a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, about 2,200 square feet, and an average price of $370.
That's nice. That is really nice.
And that's why Little Elm is absolutely exploding. Right?
Yeah.
So let's get into our last pro for Little Elm, Texas.
Oh yeah, they've got the lake, which
The
is
lake.
fantastic.
66 miles of shoreline around it. Now, when we moved here, let's be honest, it was a sleepy town, right? There wasn't much going on. But now you've got Hydrus Water Park, which is like a wakeboarding thing. You've got
Hula Hut,
which we just went to, had some great food right on the lake.
Yeah.
There's so much going on. You've got Little Elm Beach, which has volleyball courts, softball courts, camping. It's walking trails.
Great walking trails.
I mean, it's just one of the places to be if you live in this Frisco, Little Elm, Prosper area. All the kids flock to this area because
and they just opened an indoor water park. So
indoor
that's
water
pretty
park.
cool too.
It's getting better and better and better. There's so many things to do now in Little Elm. So that's fantastic.
Fun to
And that's why
watch.
it's exploding.
Yeah,
Right?
a lot of new builds, it's a lot
It's
going
exciting.
on.
It's exciting. It's not all sunshines and roses, right? There is some stake to Little Elm and some cons. So we are going to get into it. But I'll be honest with you, it's very difficult because I'm really bullish and excited about everything that's going on in Little Elm. But the one thing I will say, the number one con of Little Elm is
Traffic.
Right? So traffic on the Little Elm on the north side is 380, and that part from 423 onward into Denton really backs up.
It does.
So that is just it's they're working on it. They're doing overpasses like they've done in Prosper and in McKinney and that sort of thing, and hopefully that'll die down. But you've got so much growth heading down west of the 380 that borders Little Elm that it is unbearable at times.
Brutal.
I mean, it's just like, because it's not freeway traffic, right? It's stoplight. So you're just, oh man, it took me 5 lights to get through that traffic light. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? So the traffic sucks on the north side, and then on the south side you have El Dorado that goes through there, and that could back up not even close to 380. But it does create traffic. Now, on a positive, one thing that we forgot to mention is that they built that Little Elm Bridge, I don't know, like 10 years ago?
I love that bridge.
And that connects you right to the 35. So you have quick access. You can go down that El Dorado. You're about 5 miles to the Dallas North Tollway if you want to go straight into Dallas. Or you can jump over the lake because they have that bridge now and get right on the 35. So you can go into east or west, you can go into Dallas or Fort Worth. So
and you'll see a little bit of traffic right before that 35, and it looks like it's a lot, but it's not too bad.
yeah, it's a very short thing. So that's pretty nice. And then, like I said, we're having trouble coming up with cons. I'll be honest with you. But if I was to come up with any con, it would be the schools aren't A's.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But they are extremely going up compared to where they were 15 years ago when we moved here. Like I said, Niche gives them a B. They've got an A in diversity, an A in college prep testing, and B's everywhere else. So for the most part, it's really, really good school. It's definitely above average, but when you're side-by-side neighbor with Frisco, it's kind of hard to compete. But you do have some housing in the west side or the east side of Little Elm that feed into Frisco ISD.
Yeah, so you just have to have an agent who knows the difference, so that way you don't get stuck on the wrong, if you want to be in a specific school district.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So there's a ton. Obviously, you need an agent no matter what, whether it's new construction or resale, and hopefully you got those agents right here. So anyway, we hope that you enjoyed this video, the pros and cons of Little Elm, Texas. I am very bullish on this city. I think it's a great investment. Close proximity to the PGA, Frisco, Prosper, and all things that are exciting in this Dallas-Fort Worth area. And so until the next time, I'm Andy.
And I'm Patrice.
Take care.